A long time ago, way back when I was working toward a degree in music, the pipe organ was my main instrument. I never got very good at it, but I loved it. Playing a good organ was like having a whole orchestra at your fingertips. I never got tired of it. What I did was move away to a place where there weren't any organs, pipe or otherwise, for me to practice on, and I pretty well lost everything. I do still enjoy listening to a good classical organ, though. There's nothing like it.
Whoops.
And that thing is nothing like a good classical organ. Why they insist on using a centuries-old pump organ instead of getting someone to donate a piano, I do not know. But the only solution to this problem is another organ. Sister Bertrille will fly to town with all the money they have available and see what she can find.
And now, item 112 in your catalog. This is slightly used organ dating back to 1898. Played only on Sundays by a little old lady in San Juan.
Dude, it's an organ, not a used car. Our auctioneer may be a little confused about what that thing does.
Sister, I see you are interested in this priceless instrument. Would you care to start the bidding?
Well, I'll listen for a while, thank you.
He says, let's start the bidding at $500. The last time the convent had that much money, they spent it on a new boiler, desks for the classrooms, and something else that slips my mind. Thing is, nobody else wants it for that price either.
Fine.
I'm listening, keep talking.
It's getting very late, ladies and gentlemen. Tell you what I'm going to do. I will entertain a bid of $400.
Anyone? Anyone?
Those people aren't interested at any price. Finally, he says, okay, sister, how much can you bid?
Well, how does, $24.14 and a St. Christopher medal grab you?
Sister, before I sell it for that, I will give it away.
Oh, thank you, senor. That's more than a fair price. Your charity will be remembered in the prayers of the convent Santango and recorded in the files of the income tax department.
He's so generous, he doesn't even realize he's being generous until she points it out to him. What a guy.
No. Manuel, I'm sorry, but no.
Felicia will be great in your supper show. Have I ever lied to you?
Yes. Your last protege emptied my club after the first number.
Then you must give me a chance to redeem myself. One little audition, how long will it take?
No. I mean, yes.
I'm not sure who this guy is, but he has a cousin that he says is a singer. Carlos isn't interested. It's Sister Bertrille on the phone. She intends to ask him to haul the organ up to the convent for her.
Oh, yes, Sister Bertrille. I will be delighted to.
Well, I haven't asked you anything yet.
Well, you can give me all the details when I get there.
Well, don't you want to know where I am?
Oh, yes, of course.
He'll use any excuse to get away from this guy. She says, please bring your trailer. He doesn't care why. He has an escape route and he's taking it.
Where are you going? What about the audition?
I'm sorry, that was an emergency. We have to audition our step-niece by marriage at a future date.
Carlos.
At a future date. And don't call me, I call you.
3, 2, 1.
Senor Ramirez, are you ready for me?
Yes. I mean, I wasn't, but I am. I'm so delighted and surprised. Any stepdaughter of great Uncle Bernardo is like a stepdaughter of one of the family to us.
He's thinking, and since you're one of the family, we need to get better acquainted.
But we're kissing because that's what makes it alright.
Too bad he doesn't have time to find out. He has to go do a good deed. The first thing he learned, that good deed needs to be flying a red flag off the parts that are sticking out. He has a nice traffic ticket to show for that lesson.
I guess you can deduct the tie and the ticket as a charitable contribution.
Now, what about the time away from my business?
You didn't have to rush over here so quickly. I mean, there wasn't any hurry. I want to surprise the Reverend Mother, but she won't be back until this evening.
Now she tells me.
Did I take you away from something important?
Naturally, that's one of your great talents.
Hold on. Let's recap here. He wanted to get away from his, however he said they're related, because this guy has burned him before. When she called, he barely gave her a chance to spit out her name before he insisted on dashing right over there. But now that he's seen that his shirt-tail relative is a hot redhead, suddenly she's all at fault for dragging him away. Sorry, Carlos, but under the circumstances, I can't muster up a whole lot of sympathy for you. You have this problem because you spend way too much time thinking with little Carlos.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Yes, well, you've done too much already, Carlos. Thank you so much.
No hay de qué.
Yes.
Now, if I had a little more time, I would be delighted to try to...
well, don't feel too badly about running out on us.
Do you ever get the feeling she chooses her words very carefully with Carlos?
I'm not running out. My cousin was waiting for me all morning to be auditioned.
Well, go audition her, yes.
Well, thank you for the suggestion.
We'll get along just fine, won't we, Sister Anna? Oh, sure. Yes. Besides, you'd have trouble understanding these instructions. They're Greek to me, and if we can't understand it, then we do so.
Give me that. Of course they are Greek to you. They're in German.
He says, stop being so obvious. You know I speak German. I don't know why he even tries to do this. He cannot say no to her. Well, he can, but he's incapable of making it stick. He gives in every time. He'd save himself a lot of time, fuss, and ulcers if he would adopt the simple principle, just go with it.
Mr. Bertrill, the sisters tell me that you have a surprise for me.
Yes, it's something we've needed very badly ever since our old one broke down when you were away.
Well, that could be anything from our plumbing to our station wagon.
Fair point. When she sees the organ, she's more than a little blown away.
How about knocking out a tune for us, Crazy Fingers?
Crazy Fingers? Sister Jacqueline?
Oh, well, that was a nickname I had when I was younger. I was intermission organist at a roller rink.
It's easy to forget that these ladies weren't always nuns. I have a feeling Reverend Mother Placido has a few pre-convent stories of her own, and would prefer to keep them to herself if it's all the same to you.
You have to pump it.
I did. But it's like pedaling a bicycle uphill.
Well then, let's pretend it's a bicycle built for two. Sister Bertrill will work the pedals while Sister Jacqueline plays.
Sisters, please stop. I do believe you're hurting it.
Okay, Sister Jacqueline, hit your chord. I guess it still has a few bugs in it.
Yes, among other things.
Carlos neglected to blow the dust out of the pipes before he set them up. Package some of that up and give it to him as a souvenir. The old boy just needs to be played. Using it will loosen everything up, restore the flexibility in the bellows so it functions better. The pipes have little leather plugs called pouches that open and close to let air through and make sound, and playing it will loosen them up too. When a pouch sticks open, the pipe continues to sound, which in the organ playing world is called a cipher. Sometimes the leather does need replacing, but not often. This organ is close to 200 years old, and I don't hear a single issue with the pouches or anything else. In fact, it sounds terrific.
Ist das nicht ein Flugelhorn?
Ja, das ist ein Flugelhorn.
The organ could produce a remarkable variety of sounds.
And that's all the more remarkable considering from what I can see it has exactly one set of pipes. In your average organ, you need a whole different set of pipes to get a different sound. The one I learned to play at the University of the Pacific had 44 sets, or ranks of pipes as they're called. This organ gets all those sounds with one rank. It's much more talented than any of the organs I ever played, and I'm quite jealous.
We got a flute, drums, a bugle, and the sound of a young girl groaning.
And there's the big problem with a pump organ. My brother had one for ages. I think it was a family heirloom of his wife's or something like that. Anyway, when we were kids, we liked to fiddle with it. It was considerably smaller than this one, and the pipes were internal. The pedals worked a lot easier than these do, and we still got worn out in less than a minute operating them. Sister Bertrill is learning the true meaning of Charlie horse.
What's the matter, Sister Bertrill?
It's Ziggy.
Oh, He's turning out to be a real pain in the legs.
Ziggy. Who is Ziggy? Short for Siegfried Krumholtz, the organ.
That's the maker's name. It's signed in the lower right-hand corner, like a work of art.
But thanks to a little accident that Sister Anna will have while cleaning the Reverend Mother's office, Sister Bertrille has the solution to getting air into Ziggy.
Sister Anna, when Sister Bertrille touched down from her flight, did you happen to notice if she made a one-point landing on her head?
It may seem a little bit flaky, but the hose just fits, and all this organ needs is a lot of air.
Too many people don't realize the organ is a wind instrument. You play a saxophone or a clarinet or a trumpet or a tuba by forcing air through the instrument. The organ works the same way. You force air through tuned whistles. Yes, the majestic pipe organ uses the same principle as the Oscar Mayer Wiener whistle. It just has a much bigger wiener, and many of them. I hope I don't have to point out that the motion of her hands doesn't remotely match what's coming out of the organ. That was a common thing in 60s TV. If the actor didn't have the time, or the talent, to learn a bit of the instrument for the shot, they'd just have them fake it. The problem is, some fakes were more obvious than others, such as this one.
Apparently, Ziggy is not quite housebroken.
I don't know about that. He did a good job of breaking stuff in this house. Some experimentation and a few more broken glasses, and Sister Jacqueline and Sister Bertrille have found the issue.
C above high C. All we have to do is avoid that one little note, and Ziggy is safe enough for any child to play.
Seems easy enough, except that there are songs that use that note. Case in point. Reverend Mother can't take it anymore.
No, sisters, you are not playing the right note.
Oh, well, Reverend Mother, in this case, the right note is the wrong note on purpose.
No wonder you lost your position at the roller rig, Sister Jacqueline. Allow me.
Oh, Reverend Mother, now let me explain this. You see, the
There is
reason...
nothing to explain, Sister Bertrille.
What?
All you need is an ear for music.
Oh, Reverend Mother, there's no way...
No, you don't get to glare at them. If you want to give someone the look, go do it in a mirror. They tried to tell you and you wouldn't let them speak. You said there was nothing to explain even though they were clearly trying to tell you something important. And you can't even do the glare correctly because thanks to you hitting that note, you're seeing 4 of them now and you can't figure out which one to give the nasty look.
How's this for an idea, Reverend Mother? We can fix Ziggy so no one can hit his destruct button. Just a simple little old bobby pin under his high C would disarm him completely. See? And no one would ever... Is that a definite no or a... It's a definite no.
And my recommendation is that you find someone who will take Ziggy to the nearest junkyard.
When she goes to confession this week, she'd better mention that statement because she just uttered a major obscenity. You don't do that with an antique organ if the pipes are in good shape, and they are. You can't get 19th century German quality in pipes anymore, and if you have some, they should be preserved and used no matter what it takes. And I am forced to repeat, they tried to tell her and she wouldn't let them. She did the whole thing to herself, so she needs to lay off the sisters and Ziggy.
But how can you know if I have talent? All we have done for the past 2 days is wine and dine and talk.
2 days and he hasn't gotten any further than talking. Carlos may be losing his touch.
You're right. I think that the time for talk is drawing to a close.
Yes, Carlos. Now is the time.
Oh, is it?
I can wait no longer.
You can't?
You're going to listen to me sing right now.
He isn't losing his touch, she's just way more interested in his ears than she is in other body parts. She's serious about this, she is determined to make it as a singer, and Carlos is a major stepping stone. She's not going to be distracted.
Oh, that must be Uncle Manuel. He wants to be here for the audition.
Oh, he does, huh? Hello?
Carlos? Am I interrupting you?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Carlos, on the other hand, is only too delighted to be distracted. He'll leave Felicia standing there flat-footed yet again and dash over to the convent. But this time, she's not buying it.
What are you doing?
I studied the organ for 10 years.
Hold it a sec.
A few nice flourishes and she's ready to launch into a song.
Look of love is in your eyes, a look your smile can't disguise.
Guess what? Cousin whatever his name was didn't burn you this time. She's the real thing. Abby Lane started acting at age 4, but for most of the 50s she was a nightclub singer. Being married to Xavier Cugat may have had something to do with that. This isn't her only singing credit on a TV show either. She lent her talents to a wide variety of shows, and as we can hear, she has a lot of talent to lend. She slowed down around the mid-1980s, but is still with us. In fact, this December she'll be 90. And she can probably still belt out a song like that with the best of them.
She can play too. How much for the organ? Money is no object.
Well, it is no object. For a change, the convent would like to donate something to a worthy philanthropist.
Carlos is so grateful he bought them a nice little electronic organ that will serve their needs nicely.
Incidentally, I, Carlos Ramirez, organ expert first class, discovered the reason for the organ's malfunction. One of the keys was jammed. See, enclosed.
Nothing enclosed but this old bobby pin.
He pulled the pin.
Oh, Felicia's going to be playing a live hand grenade at her opening night.
They didn't tell him about the glass-shattering key? Sister Bertrille will fly over to the casino real quick and correct that little oversight.
Hey, sorry, sister. I have to see your ID card.
Can I go in for just one little minute?
I assume you have some identification in one of your pockets. Wouldn't it be quicker just to pull it out and show him?
Look, sister, some of my best friends are nuns, but I am new at this job. But I got to see your ID card.
Oh, how much can I drink in one little minute? It's very urgent.
Okay. Go in, sister. What was that?
Well, on second thought, I wouldn't want you to get into any trouble. I'll just be on my way.
Never mind. He didn't really want to see it anyway. If you enjoyed this, please click the like button to let me and YouTube know you want to see more. If you're not subscribed yet, punch me in the mask here and get signed up so you don't miss a thing, because something is always happening here at Irving Zoo. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. You have this problem. You have this problem. Oh, package some of that up and give it to... Speak English. Before he set them up. Man, I can say that. There's office. Sister Brill... Bah! Sister Brill? Case in point. Yes!